nothing to lose. McKnight Tonight, McKnight Tonight, McKnight Tonight. Here comes McKnight Tonight.
Welcome to McKnight Tonight. Here's Rob McKnight.
Hello and welcome to McKnight Tonight for this Thursday, the 18th of March, 2026. Usually it's a tipsy Thursday and I'm sure somewhere in the world I'm having a drink because I'm not really here right now. I'm actually on the road in Sydney doing a little bit of work down there, and so McKnight Tonight is actually off for the next week in a bit. But fear not, we're here in spirit with some best of episodes, and I hope you can all watch them together as part of an instant premiere each night at 9 o'clock Australian Eastern Daylight Time, because it's right here that we're going to show some classic hot topics, some interviews, a Rob's Rant, Backend Quickie, but also I'm digging into my archives and I'm going to show you clips from things I did when I was younger, much younger in some cases, from my personal home videos when I was in high school, and also some clips I did with Channel 9 of studio tours and the like. They're all from the archive, so I hope that you enjoy them. And tonight you will meet Theodore. He's 15. All right, we'll get straight into it. Let's get into some hot topics and keep the feedback coming.
Here comes McKnight Tonight.
And if there's one thing I can't stand, it's those content creators who pull pranks on members of the public. But now we're starting to get justice. A French influencer has been jailed for 6 months for faking syringe attacks on unsuspecting members of the public in a viral prank video. Yes, faking syringe attacks. Have a look at what he did to people just going about their business on the street.
Elle nous avait menti. Hein. Ça va pas? Qu'est-ce que tu fais là?
Mais, depuis le mois d'octobre, le chien, ben, casse-toi.
Ah! What are you doing?
What the fuck? What the fuck? Who the fuck are you? Ça va pas, non? Connard, casse-toi.
I think this is horrific. Imagine being there. So many things would go through your mind. What has this person just injected into me? Is it HIV? Is it some kind of disease? Like the amount of fear. And he's a muscly guy. So, you know, you don't know if it's a joke. You don't know if it's real. And am I going to take him on? You know, police received 145 reports of needle spiking during a June music festival when he was making these videos, although few concrete cases were found. But if you were on the receiving end of this prank, you would certainly be scared. You would be freaking out. But then these pranksters will go, I'm just mucking around. What are you so scared of? This is a scary scenario. I don't know how there can be joy derived by this. And while this guy can thank his lucky stars he only got jailed, he was jailed for 6 months, other pranksters haven't been so lucky. 2 years ago, a delivery driver in Virginia, he was found not guilty after he shot a YouTube prankster in a shopping mall. The victim, 21-year-old, and I say victim, this is the guy who was the YouTube prankster who got shot, but in this scenario, he is the victim. He was 21-year-old Tanner Cook. Now, he is behind the channel Classified Goons. He was shot, he survived after he trailed the delivery driver through a mall food court while playing odd audio from his phone at point blank range. Have a look at this video and tell me what you would do in this situation.
Γεια σου, σταμάτα να σκέφτεσαι τη λάμψη.
What?
Hey, that in?
Hey, Dip, quit thinking about my twinkle.
No.
Hey, Dip, quit thinking about my
Get
twinkle.
on my Facebook like half something. Stop.
Hey, Dip, quit thinking about my twinkle.
Stop!
This is going to sound harsh. I have no sympathy for him. Now, do I want to see that YouTuber die? Absolutely not. But this guy was fearful. You've got this bigger guy standing over you with a phone. You've got no idea what's going on. It's an intimidating act. Now, that's a big sign of America's gun culture. But as far as I'm concerned, that YouTuber has no right to complain. And in fact, the jury acquitted Alan Colley. That was the person. They acquitted him of aggravated malicious wounding, siding with his claim of self-defense. Of course it was self-defense. But on lesser firearm counts, they were split, the jury was split, convicting him on one and acquitting him on the other. And the YouTuber said he didn't seem like he was fearing for his life. He didn't seem scared. The guy didn't know what was going on. They didn't know what to do. If you want to make content, great. There are some, there are videos where husbands and wives are pranking each other around the house. I'm all for it. That's fun. That's fine. Except Amanda's not going to allow me to do that. But this kind of thing where you're attacking unsuspecting people in public to get YouTube hits, you get what's coming to you. I've shown videos where they've done that, walked past and gone ding, like they're taking money from your phone, and people have started firing back. It's going to get worse. Fire back. Don't shoot, but in my view, you are right to defend yourself, and that absolutely is self-defense. What do you think? Let me know.
Here comes McKnight Tonight.
I mean, there's no doubt that video is shocking where he shoots him, but geez, I would be scared if I was in his position. If I had a gun, I don't know. Maybe I would never carry a gun, but if I had a gun, you might be tempted. Anyway, look, finally, some relief for frustrated motorists. The New South Wales government has announced plans to lift construction zone speed limits when no workers are present. Hallelujah. The change will mean roads can return to their normal speed limits outside of active work hours, ending the days of crawling through empty roadworks. It comes as part of the Transport Legislation Amendment Bill 2025, which sets new rules for when and how roadwork signs are displayed. Safety will still come first. Limits will remain in place where road conditions or barriers pose a risk. But the Minsk government says the reform will make life easier for drivers while keeping workers protected. I have a go at politicians a lot on this show, but this gets a clap. How many times have you been driving at night? They've been working on the road during the day, but there is no problem, and they're supposed to be doing 40 kilometres in what is usually an 80 or 100 zone, but the roadwork signs are up because no one can be bothered taking them down at night because they will be back tomorrow, but you're there, and then they say speed zones are enforceable. This is righting a much-needed wrong. Every state needs to do this. Surely it's a no-brainer. I mean, there's probably someone who's arguing with it, Amanda. Who knows? But if you are, you're an idiot. Get out, get out, get out. I love this. I love it because I don't mind when there are workers there. I absolutely understand the need to be doing 40 kilometres an hour. There's lives. It's reduced ability to drive through. No problems at all. But when they've gone home and the roads are wide again and there's no issue, put those limits back up. This is a no-brainer. I just say thank you. It's good to have some good news. Have you checked out the latest range of McKnight Tonight merch? You could look sexy in a t-shirt or even one of these caps. Or you can have a Rob's Rant with me every day by getting your own mug. But maybe you're the kind of person who prefers a Backend Quickie. Well, you can get them all and more at mcnighttonight.myshopify.com. That's mcnighttonight.myshopify.com. Get some merch, help us out, and you'll look good doing it.
Here comes McKnight Tonight.
I feel like renting tonight, like renting tonight. Did I throw you with that one?
Just a little bit.
All right. A new national survey has revealed something pretty shocking. More than 1 in 4 Australians now believe that some form of retail theft is justifiable. That's right, not just desperate people stealing to survive, but ordinary shoppers who think it's fine to skip a scan at the self-checkout, swap price tags, or walk out with something small because the store won't miss it. The Monash University survey found almost half of all thefts in Australia happen in retail settings, and police say the problem is becoming more violent and organised. Theft itself is now at a 21-year high, with nearly 600,000 victims nationwide. What's even more worrying is the age gap. More than half of Australians aged 18 to 34 think some forms of stealing are okay, while older generations overwhelmingly reject it. Bloody kids think it's all right to steal. You know what? This is the thing that really interests me. The justification people have for doing bad things. Now, I'm going to be honest, that I have sort of price swapped when I was younger. I got the Trust tomatoes and pulled off the stems and then put them in, and even though they were nice and ripe, the checkout lady always thought they were the cheaper tomatoes, and I don't even eat tomatoes. That's what I did for you, Amanda. But I regret that. That still lives with me to this day. And I don't understand the people who go, oh, well, they won't miss it. Yes, they do. It forces all the prices up. And it's like people who will go and do some charity work, but then are real assholes to their co-workers or people. But in their heads, they think they're good people. You're not good people. You're not good people. You know, I think the way we treat people is overall is a real reflection. It's not just doing 1 or 2 good deeds. And we all make mistakes, and we all have to, for a better word, atone for those. But I find this really disturbing that people just go, yeah, it's okay to steal. Now, we are in a cost of living crisis, and I get that there might be people pushed to the edge, but I think ultimately you have to live within your means. And we all have to pull back. Did you just laugh when I said that? Hang on.
No.
Why did you laugh? I think Amanda doesn't think I live within my means.
I'd like to see you live within your means, yes, please.
Do as I say, not as I do. But I do think that we need to take more responsibility. And I just can't abide by this idea that it's okay to steal. And it's interesting, isn't it? It's the younger generation who look at the older generation and go, oh, they don't get it right when it comes to being progressive, to treating people the right way. We think it's okay to steal. It's always interesting that they like to judge the older generation, but they don't have the same values as us. Now I'm calling myself the older generation. How's that? Let me know your thoughts. Do you think it's ever justifiable to steal? That's Rob's rant. All right, now to open up the archives. This is from a series of videos I did called Scanner Screen when I was in high school. We would make these. They were sort of inspired by Hey Hey It's Saturday, Tonight Live with Steve Vizard, and I would do hosting segments. In fact, once upon a time, I rang up posing as the head of English at my high school and got all these cameras sent out from the Department of Education, all these big studio camera switches. And so we made videos with them. But this report that you're about to see was on location on the streets of Sydney.
This is Theodore,
He's 15. I'll do this. And what we're doing in here today is we're seeing what we can do to make him into a cool dude.
But you see, I'm already a cool dude, although some others do disagree with this.
Like a majority of the population. So we're going to go around and we're going to ask people what we can do to make Theodore into a real dude.
I'm pretty excited.
So let's see who we can
I'm
find.
not going to be out too late, okay? I promise.
Theodore, we've got some more people to see now. We're going to have to...
I tell you what, Richard,
Yeah?
this is pretty exciting. I've never been to the city before. I feel like a raging dude.
I won't tell you what I feel like. Let's find some people. You see, this man here has been accused of being, well, a bit of a nerd. And we're just wondering, what do you think we could do
Unbelievable, isn't it?
to make him into a real dude, a real cool dude? What do you think we could do?
Should I change clothes or something?
Not here.
Sorry?
What do you think you should wear?
Trendy clothes, I guess.
Well,
Trendy
what's
clothes.
trendy clothes?
Or,
Like this?
maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Mum. Sorry, go on.
She's coming after you.
Fine, don't help me. I'll cry myself to sleep tonight.
We need to find some more people.
I do every night, Richard. It's hard, you know, being the person I am.
Frankly, I don't really want to know. Quick question. This man here has been accused of being a bit of a nerd. What do you think we could do
I know it's hard to believe.
to turn him into a real cool dude? Should he get a shirt like this, for instance? Or, you know, what? Shoes? What do you think we could do?
You take a person for what they are. Don't worry, but
So you take him for what he is?
yeah, he's got a great personality. Yeah.
Well, personality could be part of the problem here. Okay, what do you think?
What else should I do?
Alright, get contact lenses, take your glasses off.
Get contact lenses.
His mother bought those for him.
Or get nice glasses. Yeah.
Round rims and get rid of that and that and that.
And then she's I'll buy a pair of Reebok.
Oh yeah, Jordan.
Jordans, alright.
Like Jordan.
Any bullshit?
And then I'll be a mega hunk of a man.
Yeah, and then girls will go after you.
Oh.
But this man has been accused of being a bit of a nerd in his time. We're just wondering, what do you think we could do? It's difficult to see, I realise. But what do you think we could do to turn him into a real mega hunk of a man dude?
Why worry about it? Just be yourself.
Yeah, but I haven't got any spunky monkey girlfriends.
Freedom to the individual. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, dude. Oh, freedom. Oh, God.
What do you think we could do to sort of change him into a dude?
Is your daughter up for offer, is she?
She's up for offer.
Oh, she's got nice legs.
I think what you've got to do is get yourself better clothes.
What, like yours?
Casual gear, yeah. But if I was going out at night time, you're a total nerd.
I can't handle it.
Get yourself a pair of check trousers, a flowery shirt. So you think you should go to Czechoslovakia for his trousers? Yeah, yes, Czechoslovakia, Prague. There's a good shop in Prague, in the main street of Prague. Keep that in mind. Check and a flowery shirt.
And a flowery shirt.
Yeah. Is that a flowery shop or a flowery shirt?
Sure.
Right.
Okay. And then I'll look cooly-dooly.
Well, depends what kind of shirt you get. What do you think we could do?
Okay, first of all, take off his glasses.
Okay, yeah.
Then send him off to a finishing school.
What, like, yeah, like sanding and that? Yeah, sanding back.
And then we drop the bag. Now you better start with different clothes, different pants, different shirt, different...
But these jeans are
Okay.
just jeans.
Maybe we should ask you, is there anything we shouldn't change?
Short the list. No, you should actually change everything.
So maybe if we just send him back and get the later model.
Mum made me change my underpants this morning. Is that all right?
That's fine, yeah. Yeah, that's the place to start, yeah.
Okay,
And
so
maybe you should change your mum, eh?
Well, thank you, Richard, for
That's
taking
okay,
me to the
yeah.
city today.
I think, yeah, we need to interview as many people as possible. And now maybe we should go out and see if we can do something about turning you into a dude. I mean,
Right.
we've talked about it long enough.
Yeah. It's getting a bit on now. We really have to get rushing home because Mum said I've got to be home by 3, and it's
a quarter past 12.
It takes a long time to get home, and I'm going to be barred to my room for a week, except for school, of course, because she'd never let me miss school.
Throwback.
Okay, I'd like to throw back to Rob And Amanda, have you seen her? She got good legs. In the studio?
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye, Mommy.
This is hi to the scanner screen 5 viewers. Did I get it right?
Yep.
Good. I'm a professional television person, and professional don't knock the water out of your goose.
Thanks, Adrian.
You're welcome. Have a nice day.
McKnight Tonight. McKnight Tonight. McKnight Tonight. Here comes McKnight Tonight.
Well, if you were watching Saturday Night Live a few weeks ago, the one hosted by Timothy Chalamet, you might have seen an animation made right here in Australia. The 3-minute clip showed God and his workers fumbling their way through the creation of Earth. One of the main characters was voiced by Chalamet himself. A Melbourne-based team at Studio Show Off had just 6 days to animate the whole thing to be played out to millions of viewers on SNL. Ivan Dixon and Sean Zwan are behind the team that brought this idea to life and join me now. Welcome to McKnight Tonight, boys.
Thanks so much for having us.
Ivan, animating a high-quality 3-minute video in just 6 days, it seems extraordinary to me. I'm assuming something like this would usually take much longer.
Yeah, for sure. It would normally take months and months to make something like this. You know, there's back and forthing with the team on the design and storyboards. Every little decision is scrutinized. But we just had this massive crunch to deliver it in time for the show that weekend that Chalamet was hosting. Yeah.
Well, they had a week. Sean, tell me about the initial phone call and how the idea was pitched to you.
Yeah, well, we'd been working on it a little bit in the background, and we've been trying to get something going with SNL for a little while. But then we had a phone call where they said, can you guys pump this out in a week? And the reason is we think Chalamet might want to voice it. But obviously the catch is you don't get any sleep all week and you've got to work straight through. So it was a bit of a nerve.
We're not playing the actual animation because of copyright claims on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. But Sean, what I loved, it wasn't just one style of animation. There are moments where the style changes dramatically. It was a really well thought out comedy skit.
Yeah, it was great. We had a really good team here, and when we put people on animation teams, we like to cast them a little bit like they're actors. So we pick people for certain shots, and we had an artist, Alex, who was great at rendering up those highly detailed paints, which brought some more life into it.
And you'll notice that she has a really strong resemblance to Sean here. That was just a 100% coincidence.
Yeah, it's my red Dutch face. God and I both get that.
Well, isn't that brilliant? You didn't worry about basing it on Chalamet. You just went, we've got the look right here.
No, well, interesting. So we didn't always know he was going to voice it. So there was a different voice for God originally, and a different design, which was all.
Can you tell us who that was?
That was the original, one of the original writers, Streeter Seidel. So he was voicing like a temp version of the character, and then when they realized they had a chance to cast Timothy, they were like, "Yeah, we've got to do this. He's the hottest thing in Hollywood right now."
And we were a bit curious as to whether that voice would work because Timothy's voice is it's a lot more boyish than what the original voice was, sort of rough and like a tech bro. But he did really well. Yeah, when we got the voices back, we were like, oh, wow, he's absolutely nailed it.
We only got the voice Tuesday afternoon, and we had to do it by Friday. So, yeah, and the way the show works is you don't know if they'll actually air it. They may just cut it because for time or another joke, another skit is stronger. So right up to the very last minute, we had no idea.
Yes, there are 4 behind-the-scenes specials on Saturday Night Live at the moment, which really show the process, and it's chaotic, and the cast don't know right up until the last moment what's going to air. But it got to air, thank God, no pun intended. But Ivan, this isn't your first foray into global animation. You mentioned you've been talking to SNL for a while, but you've done a lot of other shows. Tell me about those that you've worked on.
Yeah, we've had the fortune of getting to work on a lot of stuff over the years, and some of that's been for US television. yeah, we did an intro to The Simpsons a few years back.
I mean, that had to be one on the bucket list, didn't it?
Oh, that was it. You know, I'm a child of the '90s. Sean and I both grew up watching the show. And,
oh my God, I'm a child of the '70s. Thanks for mentioning that.
Getting to work on The Simpsons, I went over and sat in on a table read with the voice actors. I met the voice of Bart and Lisa and Homer.
No.
Yeah, some of the directors there and writers, and it was a dream come true.
And I was looking on your website. There's a graphic there that shows your impressive list of clients. How did an Aussie company in Brunswick, Melbourne, become such a big player on the world stage?
Well, it's interesting. I think because most of the people we work with, like clients and stuff, are from the US or the UK, and often we'll jump on a call, and I think the people on the other end are surprised to see two Australians talking back at them, and they're confused by the silly accents. So, most of our work comes from LA. So I'm not sure how that exactly happened, but it's where a lot of stuff's happening. So. Yeah, we just reach out to people, or they reach out to us, and we say yes to the things that look really cool, and try to do really good work, and they keep coming back. So,
will you be leaving for LA soon, or will you stay right here in Melbourne?
I think it's a bit of a scary place to go right now. It's turned into not to get heavy, but we like it here in Melbourne.
We're good here.
Yeah, lots of good coffee. Sean, finally, what has the reaction been to your work being featured on Saturday Night Live? The studio show off, there it is. It popped up on the final end credit with above Timothy Chalamet's name. What happened when that went to air?
Well, yeah, we've a lot of people have obviously contacted us and congratulated us. The crew we worked with were absolutely stoked to see it go live, because as Ivan said, we made this knowing it may not actually go up.
Crazy.
Yeah, we're pitching on a couple more jobs now that have leapfrogged from that, and we're hoping to make a lot more comedy and do a lot more writing ourselves this year.
Yeah, it certainly greases the wheel when we can add that to our roster of clients.
Absolutely. Well, Sean and Ivan, I'm wishing you more success, and I loved it. It was a standout. I didn't realise at the time it was an Australian company that did this. It just played in Saturday Night Live like any other skit, and that is a real testament to the work you did. Thank you for joining us on McKnight Tonight.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for having us.
You can show your support for the show by buying me a coffee. Just go to buymeacoffee.com/McKnight Tonight. Every bit helps keep this show from our garage going.
Here comes McKnight Tonight.
All right. Are we feeling relaxed? Are we feeling nice? Grab your wine, because it's time for a Backend Quickie. And boy, do I have a good one for you tonight. I found some old goof reels, and this one involves Magda Szubanski. Now, I'm not sure whether it was from her time on the ABC or at Channel 7, but I don't care, because it's bloody hilarious. Take a look.
Julie, you are... Sorry. Sorry, hang on. Sorry, I'm sorry.
She's trying so hard.
Give it a try now. We're about to go now. Stand by.
Julie, you are a boring B-grade actress. No one liked you. I'm sorry.
I love that. You know, I feel sorry for people in that situation. It's hilarious to watch, but Julia Louis-Dreyfus on Seinfeld, there are so many outtakes where she wrecks great scenes, and you see Michael Richards getting so angry with her. He plays Kramer. He gets angry with because he's like, this is good stuff, and she's like, I know, it's just so funny, and she cannot keep a straight face. It great. Google the Seinfeld goofs, but I've found some great classic Australian TV goofs. I'll sprinkle them out throughout the next few weeks of McKnight Tonight.
McKnight Tonight. McKnight Tonight. McKnight Tonight. Here comes McKnight Tonight.
All right, that brings us to the end of this best of edition of McKnight Tonight. We will be back on Monday with another best of show, 9 o'clock Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And in that one, our archive clip, well, it'll be my debut on television on the afternoon show on the ABC back in, I want to say, 1989. You'll see that on Monday. I hope you have a good night. I'll see you then. Cheers. Have a good weekend.
Interviews from a washed-up producer with nothing to lose. Tonight.